knocks you down, it sometimes can be extremely difficult to start back where you were, because a lot of people see when you fail as a stopping point instead of a strengthening point. Denzel Washington addresses the 2011 graduating class of the University of Pennsylvania graduating class on how they can push themselves to do better and fall forward instead of backwards. So Denzel Washington was born in Mount Vernon, New York in December of 1954. He was an American actor, director, and producer. And he was involved with the production of multiple different movies and Broadway productions. And then he was about 57 when he gave his speech at the University of Pennsylvania graduating class Wednesday. So where and when this speech was given, it was at the 2011 commencement. Family, friends, graduates, staff, faculty, the general public all were in attendance for the speech.
It's worthwhile unless you take risks. Nothing. Nelson Mandela said, "There is no passion to be found playing small and settling for a life that's less than the one you're capable of living." Now, I'm sure in your experiences in school and applying to college and picking your major and deciding what you want to do with life, I'm sure people have told you to make sure you have something to fall back on. Make sure you got something to fall back on, honey. But I never understood that concept, having something to fall back on. If I'm going to fall, I don't want to fall back on anything except my faith. I want to fall forward. I figure at least this way I'll see what I'm going to hit. Fall forward. This is what I mean. Reggie Jackson struck out 2,600 times in his career, the most in the history of baseball. But you don't hear about the strikeouts. People remember the home runs. Fall forward. Thomas Edison conducted 1,000 failed experiments. Did you know that? I didn't know that. Because the 1,001st was the light bulb. Fall forward. Every failed experiment is one step closer to success. You've got to take risks, and I'm sure you've probably heard that before, but I want to talk to you about why that's so important. I got 3 reasons, and you can pick up your iPhones. First, you will fail at some point in your life. Accept it. You will lose. You will embarrass yourself. You will suck at something. There's no doubt about it. And I know that's probably not a traditional message for a graduation ceremony, but hey, I'm telling you, embrace it, because it's inevitable.
So the significance of that speech was basically that technology isn't as advanced as it is now, and we're a lot quicker to give up on ourselves now because if we can't find the answer on Google, we're most likely not going to try to dig and find the answer. A lot of people, 2011 was like 10 years ago, but technology obviously wasn't as advanced, and people were slower to give up on themselves because they didn't have the resources that we have now, and they tried to face challenges at a different perspective than we do now. So we are faster to give up on ourselves and blame the world for our problems. And then when we fail, we need to remember there are better things ahead, even though we can't see them. So the models of persuasion, he uses ethos, he uses his experience in productions, and he emphasizes on failure and how you must keep trying. He tells the graduates that even if you fail, you need to start back up and give 110%, even if you've already done something like that. And then pathos, he puts a lot of emotion into his speech, and he uses a lot of relatable content. He is also honest with them about how they're going to fail and how they can work on their failures. And then logos, he uses a lot of different famous people's quotes, and he uses that because everybody kind of knows who the people are, that they what they've done. So he uses like Edison and Abraham Lincoln and Albert Einstein's quotes and experiences as well. Even though though they had numerous failed experiences, they were still able to be successful. For rhetorical devices, I have Distinctico, Diacope, and expletive. Distinctico, you'll never see a U-Haul behind yours because you can't take it with you. So that is an elaboration on a particular meaning of a word in order to prevent any misunderstanding or ambiguity. Yeah, that one. So I kind of like that quote because it's kind of like, you know, really relatable because you can work for everything that you're going to get, which is a really big accomplishment, but you can't take it with you when you're done, so you can leave an impact, but materialistic things aren't everything. Diacope, I prayed, but I continue to fail and fail and fail. Diacope, it repeats a word or phrase after intervening a word or phrase. So I think that quote is super important because, you know, you can try everything and then you're still going to fail, but you have to keep wanting to do it in order to succeed. And then expletive, some of you have kindness, some of you have love, some of you have the gift of long suffering. Whatever it is, whatever your gift is, whatever you're going to do with that, you have all right now. So an expletive is a word or short phrase that interrupts normal speech in order to lead emphasis to the word immediately next to it. So I think that is super, like, you know, touching or like intertwining quote because you have to work with what you have even if that's not something ideal. It will endure because we are all bound to fail, but we have to keep an open mind or open mindset about what we're going to do because we have to fall forward in order to see what we're going to do with our future instead of fall backwards. So, thank you for listening.